So for you guys who saw the short on the triumphchopper, so here's a little bit more in depth. It's a 67 Triumph 650. So a T120, yeah, T120R. Crazy paint job. This thing was built, it was in the Horse magazine, I think in 2015, 2016 time frame. It was built by F&A Customs down in Florida, so you can see a lot of their stuff on it. So it had, you know, beginning for like the pancake light, pancake tail light. It's got their license plate bracket and all that sort of stuff with, you know, F&A all on it. Did the oil bag, the fender. It's got like roses and a lace inlay on this side, and then opposite side of the tank is a little bit different, but still super sweet. Cool old school pinstriping. Love the metal flake. Super sweet paint job. So today what we've got to work on is, if you guys watch the short, you know I got it running and it ran a whole lot better, but then it started going downhill again. Reasoning is right in here. You can see the mag, and I guess I'll go to the other side and show you the belt drive setup. So this has the F&A belt drive setup for the mag. So the issue that we're having, I think, is actually down inside of here. And the cam runs this pulley here, and then a belt goes up to this pulley, and that runs the mag. So I readjusted the timing for the mag with this pulley, but I think this pulley down here is actually slipping on the camshaft and causing it to slowly go out of time and start running worse, and then just gets, you know, to a point where it just won't even start anymore because it's so far out of timing. So tonight we're going to pull this mag and everything, all this apart, and see if we can figure out exactly where it's slipping in here and fix it. So that way we aren't trying to chase our tails anymore with this bike, and we'll get it back running good. Okay, here we are. I've already taken most of the magneto drive and everything apart. So there's all the pulleys and everything else. As I was looking at the set screws, this one, you can't really tell. Doesn't look like it's spun. So it's probably not this one. And that one definitely didn't spin at all. You can see where the rust from the set screw still was. And this one I did mess with, you know, to get it running previously. So I'm thinking there's something inside here in the cam drive that's probably causing this problem. So we're going to pull all this off. So let's see if we can get this to slide off of there. I'll put you guys down for a second. So this is the shaft that runs the magneto, hooks into the cam chest, and then obviously runs everything you guys saw me take off already. It was loose in here. So the end of this is, let's see if you can get the focus kind of. So it's a tapered shaft and then just a screw. So I'm thinking that as the bike was running, and it's a right-hand thread, so you can see here, like, so if you screw this in, right, so that screws in right there. When you kick the motor over, it's spinning this direction. So if there's any drag on this and this wasn't completely tight and, you know, set in here, then it's slowly gonna back its way out. And as it's doing that, it is changing the timing. It's, you know, basically retarding the timing the whole time and causing the bike to run like complete trash the farther and farther you go. So it's just losing a couple degrees, you know, at a time. Not anything crazy until it eventually gets to the point where the bike doesn't want to run anymore. And then that's, you know, when I end up messing with it again. So we're gonna reset this thing in here, tighten it all the way down to where it's fully seated, give it a little extra, you know, little oomph on it, nothing crazy, and then put the whole magneto and everything back together, and then retime the bike. So re-tighten the shaft into the cam chest, so all this should be good. Tighten down the set screws, and then put the belt drive back on. So the way that I'm timing this, I'm assuming this is the correct way, but I didn't look up anything, is you leave these set screws loose, and then you can turn the magneto shaft here. So the next thing I'm gonna do is open up the cover on the other side so I can see the timing marks, make sure I'm on #1 cylinder, and then time it to where the points are just barely starting to open, and that should set us up right where we want to be. All right, so it's about 1:30 in the morning. Just finished up timing this thing. I think she's ready to fire up, so we'll do that in the morning. I'm not gonna piss off all my neighbors and fire up a straight pipe 650 Triumph at like 2 o'clock in the morning, but I think she's ready. Got the mag all retimed, everything set up about perfect. Just timed it to what it would be at full advanced. I believe the slack in the belt over here with these. So if you do something like that or like this with it, if you use this lever, you can adjust just a little bit to retard it slightly. But there's some sort of a pin in here that's supposed to be there that broke off a while ago apparently. So we're gonna fire it up at full advance. I think it should be fine. And we're gonna run this thing around tomorrow and make sure that this shaft doesn't loosen itself up again. And so long as it doesn't, and we should be all right. Here we go, now that everything's actually connected. All right, timing seems to be set. Carbs need to be adjusted a little bit more, but we need to get it warmed up, so let's go ride this thing. Yeah, that was it. So as you can tell from the test ride, it backed itself completely back out again. So you can see the gap in there now, and all this just free spins. Like it's not even attached to the motor anymore. So I'm gonna mess around with this some and pull it all back off again and see if we can figure out a way to make this shaft stay where it needs to. Okay, so I didn't videotape the rest of this because you guys already saw me do it last night. So I took all this back apart again. The shaft had come out of the camshaft. When I was in there, I found these pins, which I think was all one pin, but apparently broke itself into a bunch of pieces that was buried inside of the camshaft. From what I can tell, it's something to do with like the auto advance or whatnot for like when this thing had points on it. So I'm assuming whoever put this mag setup on it left that pin in there and then broke it. When I tried to reinstall mine, it obviously, I couldn't get it all the way in. So I thought it was tight, but I guess it wasn't. And then it just backed itself right back out. So I only put like 2 miles on this bike before it lost timing again. Everything is now reinstalled. I put a little Loctite on there just to try and get a little extra help, if you will, to make sure it's going to stay on there. And I gotta finish putting the exhaust on, put the cap and everything back on, throw the plugs back in it, and then we're gonna test ride it again.